Good morning. I'm Representative Ryan Bizzaro, and I'm here with Emily Merski, our candidate for Judge of the Court of Common Pleas. She's going to talk about a really important election coming up on May 20th, and she is on the ballot. So, Emily, thank you for joining us. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So thanks for having me. And my name's Emily Merski. I was born and raised in Erie. I went to Mercier College and got my degree in English. And then I stayed and got a master's in intelligence studies. And then I went to law school at Penn State, where I got my law degree. After I graduated from law school, I came back to Erie because that's where my family's from, and that's where I wanted to start my career. And I started with the Knox firm. And I started in their litigation group. Built a foundation in the law there, got a lot of experience, and then I moved on to my current position with Vendetti and Vendetti, where I've been for the past 13 years. And so in that practice, I do a little bit of everything. So I do criminal law, I do juveniles, family law, divorces, custody, wills, real estate. And then I'm also a public defender for Erie County and Crawford County. And I work for SafeNet, where I help victims of domestic violence. And I'm also on the statewide faculty for the Public Defender Association of Pennsylvania, where I am the statewide appellate expert. So I do a lot. I have a lot of practice experience and a lot of diverse practice experience.
Exceptionally qualified for the position.
Thank you.
Yeah. So a bit about the Court of Common Pleas. Let the folks know, why did you decide to run? What makes you the best candidate for the job?
So I just told you a lot about my practice experience and what makes me qualified in a lot of areas of law. And why that's important is because in the Common Pleas Court, so in Erie County, we have 8 Common Pleas judges. We'll have 9 with this election. The Common Pleas judges in Erie County don't have one assignment. If we were in a bigger county, if we were in Philadelphia, or if we were in Allegheny County, they have dedicated judges who have dedicated assignments. So they have a family law court, they have a criminal court. And those judges are filling those specific positions because they have expertise in that area of law. In Erie County, because we're a smaller county, you have to have experience in a lot of areas of law because you're going to get whatever assignment the president judge wants to assign you. So we're talking about in the morning, you might have a juvenile case. In the afternoon, you might have a custody dispute. You might be doing a criminal trial. So it just depends. So the diversity of practice experience that I bring to the bench or would bring to the bench makes me uniquely qualified because nobody else running for this position has the diversity of practice experience that I do. So that's what makes me job ready. What makes me really want to be Erie County's next judge is my experience representing indigent clients, people who can't afford to hire their own attorney. So being a public defender, being somebody who's represented people who can't afford attorneys, gives you a very unique perspective of those people in the community that really need the most help. They're the most vulnerable. They're voiceless most of the time until they have an advocate that's on their side. And coming from that practice background, you really understand a large percentage of people that come through the Erie County Courthouse. Being in the role of a judge, you're part of the what happens next process. So what's happening next, it's essential to understand it from the perspective that I come from, because it helps you help people go forward with their lives. A judge isn't part of the day-to-day process. A judge is part of the outcome of that process. So when you have my perspective and you understand the needs of the community, whether it's drug addiction, mental health, people coming from lack of education, not a lot of family support, it really helps you understand the challenges that people face, the unique aspects of those challenges, and then how you can help them to move forward. And as a judge, of course, you want to be impactful and you want to help people, and I want to help people. And so it's very, very motivating to me to want to play that role in our community.
It's got to be motivating, rewarding what you do. Now, Emily, you are lucky enough to have a wide range of support from both Democrats and Republicans. Do you want to talk about some of the support that you've received in this campaign?
So we, as a judge, when you're a judicial candidate, you run on both tickets, so you can cross-file. So that makes it unique because we don't affiliate with any political party. I am in the #1 ballot position on both the Democratic and Republican ballots. So you're going to see my name, Emily Merski, in the #1 position. It's important because being an impartial arbiter as a judge is, you can't affiliate, and you have to maintain your impartiality. And it's important because it restores faith in the process. It restores faith in the system. And when you have somebody that can stick to the law, stick to the facts, and understand how to use that and then decide what's best for whatever case you have in front of you. You need to maintain that impartiality. We all want a system that works, a system that's fair, and a system that understands people and where they're coming from. Everybody just wants their day in court. And so it's important to have that perspective and maintain that impartiality, because it doesn't matter who comes before you, whether it's a Republican or Democrat, Green, it doesn't matter what political party they affiliate with. Judges, it doesn't matter when you're inside the courtroom. And so that's why judges they cross-file on both tickets. For me, I've really been fortunate to enjoy support from both sides. We continue to meet as many voters as possible and continue to ask for that support and try to gain support on both tickets. Because in the Pennsylvania primary, you're only eligible to vote if you are registered in one of the major parties, so Republican or Democrat.
Yes.
So if you would like to vote in the Pennsylvania primary and you are not a member of the Democratic or Republican parties, you can re-register. You can change your registration up until May 5th.
And I will say, for being an off-year election, they say that the off-year elections aren't the most sexiest of elections. People they're not paying attention. A lot of people stay home. But I have to say, it's very impressive, not only the team that you've built, but the amount of support that you have that's on the ground. I mean, seems to be a lot of momentum behind your campaign. And I think kudos to you and your team for building that and for getting out there and have people educated on what a judge at the Court of Common Pleas does. I think that's great. Talk about some of the experiences that you've had on the trail. What some people are looking for in that judge. What have you heard from voters?
So one of the questions that I get the most is, what is a common pleas judge? How is that different from other judges? Common pleas judges are the judges that are in the courthouse, right? We're at the Erie County Courthouse down on 6th Street, and we work for all of Erie County. So that's different than what you're going to think of as your magistrate judges. Your magistrate judges are assigned by district. That is the entry level of court. So the common pleas judge is the second level of court. So you might see your magistrate judge for something like a small claims issue or a preliminary hearing or a landlord-tenant issue. And then that case may move forward to the Court of Common Pleas. So that's the next level of court. So a lot of questions I get are surrounded are what is a common pleas judge? So that's what we do. So we hear every type of case, every area of the law, like I said, from criminal law to civil to family, what have you. Another question I get is, are you going to be fair and impartial? Well, of course. The answer is of course. Fair and impartial is the most, and that's the number one thing. We're not only morally obligated to do it, but we're also ethically obligated to do it under the rules. Mm-hmm. And maintaining that impartiality, what we're seeing in some of the higher levels of court, so we're seeing at the U.S. Supreme Court level, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court level, the Superior Court level, so the higher levels of court, it's a little bit different, and you're seeing it play out in the media and you're seeing it play out in the news. Common pleas court judges are boots on the ground. We are seeing the community, we're seeing the people, we are there at a face-to-face level with members of the community in a very grassroots way. And we're having that first impact. The higher levels of courts where you're seeing a lot of the political back and forth play out is not what we do at the common pleas level. And so it's very important to me to maintain that. I think our bench in Erie County does it very well. They do a great job at keeping the drama out and the facts and the law in, because that's what we need to do. Because I just talked about restoring faith in the process. We have to have that faith in the process to understand, so that citizens understand that the process does work. It's not perfect, but it does work. And it only works as long as the people that are on the bench are playing their role, and the people that are the parties also have their role to maintain in the court as well.
And that's very important. We can't let perfect get in the way of good. That is why it's so important that we nominate the best candidates possible. We get behind really good people for the job. So this race is coming up. It's on our heels. Coming up May 20th. Tell the voters why they should vote for you. Why should they vote for you over the other candidates in the race?
So obviously, I believe that I'm the most qualified person for the job. And the reason why I want you to believe I'm the most qualified person for the job is not only my background and my practice experience, that's my resume, and that's what makes me job ready. What makes me ready to take on this role as the judge of Erie County Court of Common Pleas is my ability to understand the unique needs of our community and my ability to translate those into being in the role of somebody who's helping the community move forward. We talked about, getting people through the criminal law and the legal justice system, but it goes further than that. In family law cases, in divorces, child custody, juvenile matters, when you have, your perspective is determined by where you sit and what you see. And I've seen a lot of it. I've represented a lot of clients in a lot of different areas. I've represented a lot of types of different clients that bring their unique needs and their unique perspectives. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with the things that people do. No one's agreeing with the things that bring people to court. But what you are doing is trying to understand somebody from the perspective that they're coming from, because it does help you understand why they make the decisions that they do. And that's important for not only an advocate as an attorney, but it's also important for a judge. A judge has to take the facts and the law, but they also have to understand the human perspective and what motivates people so that they can help them move forward in the process. Like I said before, the judge is the part of the move forward process. We're not in the day-to-day. That's what the lawyers do. The judge hears it all, takes it all in, and then makes a decision as to how to help people move forward. And when you can understand how to help somebody move forward, it starts to help prevent recidivism. You don't want people coming back. You certainly just want to make your impact where you can and then help people move on from that, because it's never the best day of somebody's life when they're inside of a courtroom.
Right.
And you have to understand that, and you have to understand people. And I think that's the unique perspective that I bring, is that very, very deep understanding of people and their needs and how to help them move forward, whether it's punishment and treatment, whether it's in the best interest of the child. It doesn't matter, whatever case we're talking about. My qualifications, obviously my resume and all, but more importantly, the way that I can understand people and help them is what makes me the best candidate for a judge.
And if voters want to find out where they can find out more information about you, website, tell them where they can visit.
Yep, so they can visit our website at emilymerskiforjudge.com. They can also visit our social media. So we have a Facebook page, Emily Merski for Judge on Facebook. And they can also visit our headquarters located at 3818 Liberty Street, which is right next to the news sheets. So if you're looking for a landmark. But we would be happy to have anybody come in to pick up a yard sign, to volunteer, to make phone calls. We need people to help on Election Day on May 20th. And so any help is great, and we appreciate everybody's support. The other thing is voting will start by mail-in ballot very soon. So if you need to request a mail-in ballot, you can do that. If you want to change your voter registration or register to vote, you can do that either online or come to our office. We have papers and we can help you with that process.
Excellent, excellent. Well, compassionate, tough, but fair. I hope that the folks out here who are watching this will join me in supporting Emily Mosco Merski for Judge of the Court of Common Pleas. Emily, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.